Wednesday on Home and Family, Hallmark star Marcus Rosner is visiting our home, and Ken is making a wedding invitation display.
According to dogflu.com, 46 states in this country are currently dealing with one or more dog flu strains. And here to sort things out for us is pet rescue expert Larissa and veterinarian Dr. Nina Nardi.
Ladies, welcome.
Nardi's the best, by the way.
Yeah. She's would you like to go on?
I was just saying,
Okay.
She's bragging about it a little bit.
Thank you so much for being here. And since you are the best, then I'm sure you have great information. And explain to me, what is canine flu?
I do. So canine flu is just as it sounds. It's a flu that dogs get. So it's caused by a virus, an influenza virus. Just like people get an influenza, so do dogs. There's two different strains. And it typically causes respiratory illness, much like you see in people.
Okay. So, Larissa, this has become a really big issue in the rescue world, right?
It's scaring a lot of people, and thank goodness that you're here because she's putting me to rest a little bit. But it is scaring a lot of people because when you rescue a dog, a lot of times it's in a shelter situation, and any dogs that are around each other and their mucous membranes are close to each other, they're drinking out of the same dishes or eating out of the same bowls, it's very easy to spread. And flu, just like with people, dog flu is very similar, that it's easy to spread. And then, you know, doggy daycares, boarding facilities, grooming facilities. So even if you're not talking rescue, but you have a dog, you just want to be educated on it and know what to look out for, obviously, and you know, how dangerous it is for your dog.
So I want to show a picture that explains just how much this is spreading amongst the country. The map on the left is a map of 2007, and this is provided by dogflu.com. It shows the states that are affected in 07. On the right-hand side is 2018, and the green states represent both strands, and then the lime green represent just one strand, and then there's the gray. You see there's only two states, and then Alaska, Hawaii, that have none at all.
That has spread like wildfire in 11 years.
07, which is unbelievable.
But the good news that Dr. Nardi was telling me is...
So the good news is there's a very low mortality rate.
Okay.
So I feel like we hear all these newscasts about, oh, the flu, it's so bad, it's so scary.
For humans.
Yes. But for dogs, most of them are going to be fine. Okay. You take your dog to the vet and they'll get treatment.
Why has it spread so rapidly in 11 years?
I think a lot of it has to do with just people moving. People travel a lot more.
Yeah, and dogs can be on planes now. That's true. So many dogs in airports. I didn't even think of that.
Yes.
So can humans pass the flu to the dogs, and can dogs pass the flu back to the human?
No. So influenza tends to be very species specific. So there's been no cases of people getting the flu from dogs and vice versa.
Okay, good to know.
Runny nose, same with symptoms. What are we talking?
So you're going to be seeing a lot of respiratory symptoms. Sneezing. So sneezing is a big one. Nasal discharge. So if you start seeing, yellow, green, gunky stuff coming out of your dog's nose, that could be a sign. Frequent coughing. That's when people start to think, oh, could my dog just have a case of kennel cough?
Right.
Or could it be something more serious? Fever, we don't see that as often, but they can get the fever. I'll say that. They can get a fever. And then lethargy, which we don't have on our list, so sometimes they'll be very lethargic. And then decreased appetite.
So very similar to the same symptoms as human flu.
Exactly.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, if your dog is diagnosed with the flu, then what are some treatments? I mean, would you treat it the same way you would if we had the flu?
That's a good question. So, yes, I mean, it's going to be supportive care. So when we get the flu, it's supportive care. So you're going to have mild cases, which are going to be most of the cases, and then you're going to have severe cases, which are going to require a little more treatment. The mild cases, they may get some fluids under the skin, typically put them on antibiotics for a secondary bacterial infection, and then maybe even some anti-cough medication. More severe, they're going to be hospitalized. They're going to put on IV fluids. Yeah.
How long could this flu last in dogs? Is it the same amount of time it does in humans, like about 2 weeks, and then you're okay?
Typically, it's about 2 weeks, but it can last up to a month.
Wow. My goodness.
Wow.
Up to 30 days.
Dr. Nardi had a good tip on checking if your animal is dehydrated.
Yes.
Go for it.
So
that's all I remember.
No pressure. So we were talking about, like, some people will check skin tent. You know, you'll lift the back.
Yeah, to see if it's...
To see if how dry. But I actually like, and this is what I do in the office, I just kind of lift up the lip,
gums.
look at the gums, and if they seem kind of dry, kind of tacky, your pet's probably dehydrated.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So should I keep my dog home from work and school? Well, let him
You
rest?
should keep your dog home from probably the...
Fred, you should stay on the couch today. Wait, you do that every day.
Right.
Yeah, but truthfully, keep them home
you
from their
keep-
doggy daycare or wherever it
they do
is.
that. What about, would you just vaccinate or give the vaccine or whatnot to every dog? Is it recommended, or are there some dogs you want to?
So that's a very good question.
So there is a flu vaccine.
There is. So yes, there is a flu vaccine. You want to make sure your pet's going to get the vaccine that covers both strains. Okay, so there are 2 different strains. They'll get a vaccine, and then in 2 to 4 weeks they'll get a booster, and then every year, obviously, they get the vaccine. I'd say it's not for every dog. If your dog is a couch potato and doesn't go out at all, you might not need the vaccine.
Sure.
You know, unless it becomes very prevalent in your area. And then if your dog, you know, there's some dogs with immune compromise, diseases,
older dogs maybe.
Older dogs, yeah. So I just say partner with your veterinarian and see if it's best for your dog.
Does the flu vaccine make the dog tired or whatever and kind of achy, kind of like the vaccine does for us?
They can be a little sleepy after any vaccine. They might get a little sleepy, which is normal. Usually, though, in 24 hours, they should be back to their normal self.
How do they pick it up then? Because, like, you know, obviously they're not turning doorknobs.
Right.
Like, where do they, like, how can they contact it?
Respiratory.
It's respiratory.
I mean, they're this close to each other all the
Right.
time, and they're
True,
eating
that's
each other's
true.
food and each other's bowls.
way,
Thank
you're
you
awful
so
close to me
much.
right now.
I'm sorry. I don't have the flu. I had it last week. It's gone. I'm no longer contagious. You all don't go anywhere because LZ has fashion fixes for our everyday faux pas. Right, LZ?
That is right. I've got some fashion fixes that are going to make your life so much easier, direct from the runway.
Wow.
Nice. Full spin.
Full spin.
Full spin.
Later, Kellen Lutz is here. He's brought his beautiful wife, Brittany, and together they're going to reveal the secret to their harmonious marriage.
Oh, it's so sweet. But next up, it's Allie.
Yes, I'm going to show you guys how to take your family heirlooms and turn them into a beautiful Christmas tree.